Hello, everybody. How you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Online Marketing Moves. Okay? As you well know, yesterday was the last. We will close out. Yesterday, we closed out the affiliate party podcast. We changed the title. We changed everything, So we are going into as I told you yesterday, we are building this thing up. We're building this thing out. So now we are going to, a different name, a different look, more professional, more real, because we got 128 episodes in the books. So now we're going forward, more and more episodes, more and more. As you well know, if you listen to this podcast in the beginning, if you just joined us today, there has been a lot of improvement, a lot of, the thing has gotten better, the thing is growing, so I appreciate you. But now we are moving forward, we are moving onward and upward, ladies and gentlemen. And now moving forward, and plus another announcement, moving forward with the podcast. As you well know, this podcast before, we used to use a little profanity. Moving forward, we are going to be profanity free, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to use profanity in this here podcast. Okay? We are great just the way we are. Plus, the less profanity used, you just might get more sponsorship, So, you got to work on that. People don't want to hear a whole, bleepity bleep, 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 bleep. Especially, we're talking about marketing and entrepreneurship, it's quite unnecessary. Plus, I don't need to be, swearing and everything. I gotta practice because me and my wife, we want to have children, so I definitely need to, I definitely need to practice when it comes to not using so much profanity. So I'm going to practice today. I'm going to practice. I'm doing that on this podcast, and maybe if I make it a habit on the podcast, it can really. The only time I really break out into a lot of profanity is when I'm driving. That's just because that's force of habit. But anyway, today we are going to talk about We are going to talk about marketing and making sure that you are being heard when you market yourself, when you market the thing that you are doing. Now, I bring this up because yesterday, my beautiful wife, Kia, who I love dearly, let me put that. I'm just kidding. She knows I love her. But I sent her the pic because I did the podcast cover art, did all that, got it sent back to me. Sent my wife the picture. I said, which one do you think? And I sent her the first one. It was the blue one. It was the white one. It was the orange one. There's different backgrounds. She said, I like the blue one. It looks more professional. She said, I like the white one. It looks nice. The orange one, nobody probably ever see the orange one. But, so, I did that. And then she said, how long, she's like, what's the name of this podcast? And I said, what? I said, the name of the podcast is on the picture on the cover. And she said, oh. And then she said, where can I find this? And I said, I thought we had this discussion before. And I told her where she could find it. And then, of course, she looked it up. And she said, man, you got a lot of episodes. And I said, yeah, we do this every day. She said, every day? And I'm like, yes. And this is this is one problem that I definitely have to get better at, and it comes to marketing, is you're not being pushy if you tell people, hey, I have blank. Whatever it is you have. If you write a book, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a podcast, if you have a TV show coming out, whatever you have coming out, if you have say if you're a chef and you're selling cupcakes or something like that, it's okay to remind people that, hey, I have cupcakes for sale. It's okay to remind people. You're not being pushy. That's one thing that I've had to learn over the years is you're not being pushy. You know, if you remind people of different things, you're not being pushy, you're not being aggressive. You are just letting them know that, hey, I am here, you know. Because the old adage of if they build it, it will come. It works up to a T, up to a certain point, but at some point there's a point where, you know, you hit the ceiling, you hit the wall, you know, and it's like, okay, what do we do now? You have to get into the promotion side of things. You have to say, hey, I have a TV channel, I have a show, I have this, I have that. You know, I have a YouTube channel. Whatever you have, you know, I have a website. Whatever you have to let people know. You have to put it out there and you say, hey, you know, I have this. Come check it out. Come see it. Come be a part of it. Come join it. However you want to phrase it, that's what you have to do. Because if you build it, they will come. Works up to a point. Now, of course, as you well know, it's just like the first 30 days I did the podcast. I didn't tell anybody. No, well, hell, I didn't tell my wife till 2 months, almost 3 months, which is, you know, not a good idea, but I just wanted to start doing it because I knew, like, if I told people, I'd be like, see, mission accomplished. No, but I just wanted to start doing it. Plus, I wanted to get better. I wanted to improve. So I was like, because it's not, if the first few episodes are, you know, crap. I mean, let's be honest with each other. It's not, you know, taking over the world, you know what I mean? So the first few episodes, of course, you're not going to be like, let me tell everybody, but after about a month, 6 weeks, I started finding my sea legs, and, you know, people started finding the podcast. I'm like, okay, here we go, you know? And as I told you yesterday, we have, you know, the downloads have kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And it's like, okay, now we're getting better. Okay. And then about 2 weeks ago, I said, you know, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I felt like, you know, I feel my head hitting up against the wall, the ceiling, you know. I'm thinking, now I think it's time for me to let people know that, hey, I am, you know, like, hey, I have a podcast. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know. So, of course, I built it. They will come. Some people come. Some people came. Now, we are here to take this and grow it up and out, you know. We're here to expand. So we would definitely let everybody know, you know. Anybody that asks, I'll say, yeah, I have a podcast, you know. And it's just like we talked about this all this week, about positioning yourself. We talked about being, you know, an authority. We talked about putting yourself out there, getting your name out there, you know. And the more you do that, the easier it is for you to go wherever you want to go when it comes to the online space, when it comes to marketing, you know. So this is like the reason why you wanna. This is the reason why you wanna position yourself and become an authority, become an expert at. As I told you, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to become, if you want to become like an expert, or people see you as an expert, people see you as an authority. It's just like if you ever watch the news, you know, like this year, not this year, just the whole political season, you know, certain people, they call on CNN all the time, you know, they do little interviews or whatever. Those are people that have positioned themselves as experts when it comes to the political world, the political field. So they are always getting on TV, you know. It's like if you ever watched a hip hop documentary, it's like you'll see the same like 3 people on there, you know, and they're like, oh look, this guy, he's on every documentary. It's like this guy has positioned himself, he has created a lane for himself, and that's what you want to do, and this is why you want to do it, because just like now, we will work on, well, you and I'll say we. You and I, whenever you figure out, you know, what, you know, if you want a YouTube channel or however you want people to know that, hey, I'm here, I'm there, you know, and whatever thing you want to be, you know, sort of say like hang your hat on, is it email marketing, is it copywriting, is it speaking, is it motivating, like what is it? And if you want to hang your hat on that, then you can start letting people know. You can say, hey, my name is so and so. I have experience doing this, I have experience doing that. And then you can start trying to get booked on different podcasts, different, you know, TV shows, maybe different radio shows, whatever, however you want to get booked, you know. And the more people see you, the more people that you are exposed to, the more people you can have an impact with, the more people you can sell things to. It's you know, what's the word I'm looking for? That's how it works. That's what you want to do. And the more you can market yourself, the more you can market your, you know, your show. You know, just like I'm going to let people know, hey, I have a podcast. I can get on your show and talk about creating a podcast from scratch, creating a podcast from, you know, because as you well know, if I was if I was an actor or something like that, and I said, hey guys, if I went on a TV show and said, hey guys, I'm starting a podcast, you know, I would automatically get, you know, depends on the fame that you have, you would automatically get all these downloads, you know. But me, I'm, you know, as I told you this week, you know, my wife knows I'm a somebody. I'm a somebody to my wife. I'm a somebody to my mom. But the average person, the Joe Blow, walking down the street, I could punch him in the face. They wouldn't know who I am. You know what I mean? But now we have something established. We have something that, you know, I can plant my flag in and say, hey, I know how to create a podcast and I know how to get listenership. So now I can find my way on these shows, be charming, of course. No, but, you know, get on the shows, and then at the end when people say, where can people find you? You go, hey, you can find me here and there and there. And, you know, of course, every time you do that, not everybody that listens to, you know, whatever podcast, whatever YouTube channel, everybody that's going to listen to that, they're not going to look you up and find you, but they're going to be enough people that will. And then that's how you start. And then, of course, you know, you can find people and you can do the email swap with them, you know, the email swap list with, and all kinds of things you can do. But you definitely want to start, and plus it's good practice when you start getting on different shows, you know, different things like of that nature. Because, as I told you before, if my wife, you know, who loves me dearly, and she can't really remember the name of the podcast, or, you know, how often we do the podcast, do you think a stranger down the street is going to remember or care about, you know, your thing? So this is why, don't be afraid to market yourself. Don't be afraid to let people know, hey, I'm here, I'm out here, I have this, I have that. Don't stand in the corner and think, oh, there's going to be 1 million people that find me. No, 1 million people is not going to find you, pal, you know? Like, come on now. You and I both know this. We have to, because this is 2020, you know? Everybody and their brother is in the everybody and their brothers in the self-promotion business. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has a t-shirt. You can see somebody with like 12,000 followers or whatever, and they've been on one episode of Catfish, and they're out here trying to sell t-shirts. So everybody's a self-promoter. So you have to pull your own cape and let people know, ta-da, I'm here, I mean, of course, me, myself, I say don't be annoying about it, but you definitely have to let people know, hey, I exist. I'm in the world. I have this, I have that going on, Because it's like that article I read, 1,000 true fans. You get you a couple thousand people who really want to buy from you, who really want to follow you, who really want, who really listen to you, who really, enjoy what you have to offer, and man, you'll be okay, Everybody's not gonna be like The Rock, The Rock has like 180 million, Instagram followers and things of that nature, and people want to go, people breaking their necks to go buy his tequila, I mean, it seems like every celebrity has some kind of alcohol. They used to be rampant in 2002, all these rappers, I remember, like Cameron had a purple haze or something like that, and a lot of people had all these kind of liqueurs, but I mean, it's all part of the thing now, you can all, everybody, it's not about, of course, we just talked about it. You have to promote yourself. It's not a question about should you or, would you, and it's just about figuring out where do you want to go, how do you want to promote yourself, which angle you want to take. And of course, you take one thing, whatever it is, you take it, you work on it. You don't try to do 6,000 things at once, because that never works. Take one thing, you figure it out, you work on it for a while, you get better at it, and then you expand yourself. Then you go from there, It's not about, because if you try to do nine different ways to promote yourself, you would do 0 things, because you will be sitting there with and your head will be hurt, and you'll go, well, I need to upload on this and I need to upload on that. No, just figure out one thing and take it from there, and get better at that thing, and then go to the next thing. Don't try to do a YouTube channel and a podcast and on all this, especially if you're, if you don't have a lot of time, if you're working and everything like that. If you just have a normal job, and you're trying to create something, start something, don't think that, oh, I need to stay up 24 hours, 7 days a week and beat my brain, and don't. I mean, I saw this thing from Steve Harvey, and it was one of the most asinine things. He was like, the reason why you ain't making it is because you sleeping. And it's like, bro, it's like, come on, man, you gotta get sleep. You gotta get sleep to. You want to be functional. You want to get enough sleep and some exercise to create the thing that you want to create. To eventually, if you want to, alleviate yourself from your, you might be tired of your occupation or whatever. So you might want to become self-employed. So definitely get some sleep. I just, when I saw that, I was like, that is terrible. Or you got Gary Vee out here telling people hustle. Like, don't work 7 days a week for 10 years. It's like, come on, man, you gotta recharge the batteries, But anyway, that was my little 3-minute spiel about all that. But anyway, that's it for this podcast. Remember, even your loved ones will forget sometimes about you and your and your projects and your systems and your everything else like that. So you have to remind them, you have to remind the world, you have to let people know that you are out here and you are, a beacon of light and that the thing you are doing is great and you want people to listen, so you have to let people know, so that way, and of course eventually, the best thing about that is you keep working on it, you keep getting better at it, and then after a while, you the best part is after a while you won't have to beat the drum for yourself. Other people will beat the drum for you, you know. So that's why you have to tell people, hey, you know, rate my podcast, give me 5 stars, you know. That's why people say, hey, click and like and subscribe on this YouTube channel, you know, because the more people like and subscribe to a channel, the more other people are likely to discover it, you know. So that's a little trick. That's a little tip from me to you. So this podcast is already rated 5 stars, you know. But I need all of you to rate it 5 stars as well, so more people can see it. And as we normally say this for the weekend, but we've been saying this a lot lately. We've been saying this all week, basically. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, you know. We are here, and we're not going anywhere. And we are coming to you every day with a podcast. And we will get off the personal branding, the personal marketing, probably next week. But it's been a good theme this week. Because you definitely have to, you know, position yourself, make yourself known. You want to stand out amongst the crowd, you know? So, it's been a good theme this week. But that's it. Enough rambling. My name is Tom Rizzano. This is Online Marketing Moves. And we will talk to you tomorrow. And as always, everybody, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.